Alrighty, well, I knew about the Langris and Yuno, but it seems that the global Black Clover Twitter page, I mean, they're a bit like, I don't know, 6-7 hours late, because we knew that's how long ago, but regardless, they've made the post, and so that is right, in 3 days' time, Langris and Yuno will be available. I know we just had Season 3, but we know the timeline, and we know global is just going to be throwing characters, banners. It's unbearable, I'm not going to lie, it's crazy, but at the end of the day, just gotta skeep, let's see it. But at the end of the day, just gotta, you know, go for the units that are gonna be broken, aka Black Star. Anywho, as you guys know the drill, whenever new characters do get dropped on global, or they get announced, should I say, I do like to do my builds, and then we go into PvE, then we go into PvP. And so that's exactly what we're doing right now. So we're going to start things off with Yuno, of course. So let's figure this man out. Let's find this man. Now, Yuno is going to be a heavy PvP-orientated character. More for PvP than he is for PvE. If you are looking to run your beautiful red mono, then Yuno is going to be one of those selected characters. So, just to give you guys a rundown on what this man is capable of. If the enemy is afflicted with silence or total silence, there is a 50% chance to grant yourself a 20% increased mobility. And of course, the the leveling up on the first skill, just in regards to him doing more damage, alright? Second skill, it's AoE, and he has a 30% chance to silence an enemy for 2 turns. And if you max it out, which I highly recommend you do so, it'll then bumps it up to 50%. Now, if you get the Greymore, you automatically, on an AoE scale, reduce the enemy's SP by -1. Not too shabby on having that with it, so we'll say that much. Moving along to the ultimate, it is single target, inflicts total silence on an enemy for 2 turns, inflicts taunt on an enemy for 1 turn, and then inflicts a 20% reduced mobility debuff on an enemy. And once again, if you max it out, of course you get the damage boost, which is nice, but more importantly, you get that extra 16% reduced mobility on top of the 20%. So, in all honesty, I would say focus on the ultimate, then go into the second skill when it comes to duping it out. Realistically, the first skill, you don't really need to do anything for it or do it, to be honest, because at the end of the day, it really is for that mobility buff, to be honest. And then obviously with the combination skill, which is also nice, he has total silence in the combination skill. So pair him up nicely with another unit that you can utilize the combination skill with, and you've got 2 total silence within 1 turn, technically speaking. Which is, yeah, I mean, could that work? Yeah, I mean, that could work, right? Because it doesn't block off from using the ultimate. Yeah, well, I'm going crazy. So yeah, so you can turn 1 total silence twice. There you go. When it comes to the passives, so once you get him to LR, if all allies are red typing, he grants himself a 20% increased mobility buff. Now, I know some people are going to be like, why couldn't he do it for the team? Honestly, with how Yuno is working and with how he can really just kind of neutralize the initial attacking unit on the enemy team, him having that 20% increased mobility and why he's actually one of the top units for mono red team, this passive is actually pretty disgusting. Put some speed go into this man, Yuno is going to be going first, and he is completely neutralizing that main attacker on the opposing team. So something to think about. Obviously, duelist, I mean, well, it depends on what teams you're going against and depending on who the threat is as the attacking unit. And then when it comes to the LR+2 passive, upon attacking an enemy afflicted with silence or total silence, grant self SP +2. If you max him out to LR +5, if you attack an enemy with the absolute silence, you will give the enemy a 2 SP decrease. So total silence, or not absolute silence, total silence. So yeah, so that's the LR +5 on what you can do. So in total, realistically, that's a -3 SP if you consider the second skill. But anyway, that is pretty much the Yuno in a nutshell. Again, a fantastic mono red unit for PvP if that's something that you are wanting to do in the future, because I know when Black Star drops, mono red will start to be viable. I mean, again, you've got to think about Witch Queen then at a later time coming in, of course, because her and Asta are just a must mono red, and then obviously throw Yuno in there, of course. He's also an amazing first turner because, of course, of how quick he is. So that's pretty much the kit for Yuno. So when it comes to building the man, so yeah, when it comes to the gear setup, I tend to go about this route with Yuno, so give him a little bit of attack, defense, speed, of course. The key thing about this Yuno is that give him mobility. This man is going to be one hell of a quick debuffer, which is going to be beautiful. Obviously with the accessories, I'll go for the defense, crit rate, and crit damage. I just kind of went all across the board because why not? And then of course when it comes to the substats themselves, yeah, just I tried my best to go more in the magic department, crit rate and crit damage, just on the offensive side of things, and then of course defense at the end, because at the end of the day, yes, Yuno's applying all those debuffs, but he does actually hit decently well with his damage wise, so I did kind of want to invest a little bit more into damage whilst getting the debuffs going on. So yeah, solid, pretty, yeah, a nice little unit in that department, of course. Again, with the talent tree, I went with, what did I do? I think I went with the 7% magic attack, and then the battle frenzy, and then of course with the defense, again keeping it straightforward, the increased defense to endurance, and then I just gave him damage resistance, and then I also gave him the SP +1, since he can work around with, well, if I had the LR +2, then of course that would have helped out a little bit more better. But the good news is that there are characters right now that are also applying SPs, so if I want to go down that route to actually help him out get SPs a lot sooner, then I can do so with other characters. But if you do manage to get him to LR +2, you know, it just kind of makes him that even more broken, I guess. In order to, well, with him getting his ultimate a lot quicker, as you could say. But yeah, that's kind of like the easiest route that I kind of went with, you know, pretty straightforward. So yeah, with the schools, I just pretty much duped up on the ultimate and the second skill. I haven't touched the first skill because I don't really care for it, nor did I touch the combination skill, because I'm just feeding off from the total silence, and I'm just feeding off the increased mobility. But the second skill and the ultimate especially is what I want to do a lot of damage on, of course, and of course just apply a ton of debuffs right there, of course. And because of course you are going to be attacking the main attacker, they are going to be taunted, so of course, you know, make sure that your Yuno is somewhat juiced up, hence why I got the defense on for him, of course. So there's that. Now when it comes to skill pages, obviously you've got Yuno skill page. Upon attacking an enemy afflicted with silence or total silence, there is a 10 to 100% chance to grant yourself a SP +1 to 3. So if you max it out, you get a 100% chance to get 3. So this is what I mean about Yuno's kit, with the consistency of him actually being able to get SP back, so that way his ultimate is practically ready to go. And obviously with where JP is at and Global will soon be at, you know, there are characters out there that are also helping, you know, giving that helping hand to get SP back. So yeah, Yuno is pretty quick at getting his ultimate at the ready if you do choose to, you know, pull copies, invest, right? But anyway, that's the Greymoor itself, and like I said, on the ultimate, oh sorry, on the second skill, he can take away 1 SP from all enemies, of course. So that's a nice little additional to have. Again, unfortunately, I didn't manage to get the Greymoor, which is an absolute bummer. Who would have thought? Who would have thought he would have been amazing for Red Mono? So it is what it is. One day I'll get him, as he is a pickup unit, so he'll be in the general banner. But one day I'll get this Greymoor. One day. So that's of course a must if you do manage to get it. And now when it comes to alternatives, of course, I'm currently using Rills, so it has a 60% chance to apply a 10% defense reduction to a random enemy for 2 turns upon using the special skill. So that's pretty much the ultimate, taking down the main unit, and then at random someone's going to get that defense drop. Just kind of helps out to do that extra bit of damage, depending on who it falls on. So, you know, I mean, it's just a nice little additional to have, of course. At times I do resort to throw Nozels in there. Nozels technically is an early bird for the Halloween Noel, because obviously with Nozel's Greymoor, which I have at +4, upon taking damage has a 20 to 40% chance of reducing special points +1 to the attacker. So keep in mind he does taunt, so you know, as I've got it close to the 40% mark, there is a chance that way I can reduce their special points. So, you know, remove it from using the second skill. If they attack me, then I've got a good shot of maybe taking away another one. So from time to time I do actually throw this on here. But again, for global, this is the closest that you have right now for Nozel's, Noel's Halloween Greymoor. And then of course once that comes out, that's going to be the better one when it comes to reducing skill points. But anyway, there we go, guys. That is how to build Yuno. But honestly, again, an amazing mono red PvP unit, 100% most definitely, especially when obviously Black Asta comes into the mix of things, and a Witch Queen, of course. You will see Yuno actually coming in and being that forefront for the red mono units, in order to immobilize, you know, the enemy attacking character. And then the quickness of Yuno you will start to see, of course. So to the pay to win players on global, have fun. If you are able to get him to LR +2, please do so. You know, get his Greymoors too. This man was going to be an amazing unit to have on your mono red team. But we'll get to that. Obviously, I'll do my showcases. We'll go on PvP. I'll show you guys what this man is capable of at being Bear. Because again, I don't have his Greymoor. I don't have him at LR +2. So, you know, I'll show what he's. We'll see how well he does. You know, just kind of being the initial copy, and then because I mean, essentially that's going to be more of like the of a free-to-play route. So yeah, but anyway, guys, that's enough of me rambling. Just quickly wanted to go over, you know, we got to look into Langris, look at his build, and then yeah, we'll go into PvE in a separate video, and then we'll go into a separate video with PvP.